Good morning. Tony Dattino, founder of the USA Memory Championship, and prepping for July 12th online competition where we have people signing up to compete for who's got the best memory in the United States. July 12th, we have a qualifying event. We take the top 12 people from that event that allows them to do it virtually. And we take the top 12 and we invite them to Winter Park, Florida, where they will compete on August the 23rd for who has got the best memory in the United States. And we do that in a production studio for Full Sail University students that are studying how to do productions and things of this sort. So it's a great event, and we're working on that. And as I had the pleasure this week of taking a segment of the Memory Institute that we do here at the Dr. Phillips YMCA, I wanted to bring to you what that segment was in short, in a short version of it, and just share with you the feedback that I got from the people that were a part of it. And so the first thing I want to do is explain to them and to you, what is GIGG? So what is this thing GIGG? And it impacts our lives every day. It impacts our thinking, our rumination. It impacts the way we go about doing things or not. And so GIGG stands for the brain's formula of good into a brain. So good in, G-I, in, good grows. Good grows. What does that mean? We have an unlimited capacity to think. Our brain has got neurons and dendrites and axons, and all of this combination creates synapses, create all of the thoughts and the emotional feelings that we've got. So that which goes on up in here consolidates itself every day, and we control our own level of thinking for the average human being. And the question becomes, well, what are we inputting into our brain? So what do we watch on television? What do we read? So what is it that we're reading? Who are the people in our lives that impact our thinking? What are the music things? What music do we listen to? And what are the lyrics that we listen to in our music on a regular day and get into a rhythm and a beat? So all of these things are the things we put into our brain. And what I've learned over 20 years of utilizing GIGG and talking with people and having conversation is the majority of people alter their first position G. And we use the word garbage for that first position. They're putting thoughts into their brain that we may view as negative or not the most optimistic or not the most powerful. And they create worry, anxiety, in some cases depression. And so that first position G can also be garbage in, and garbage will grow. And I've said to people, oh my God, do you realize with either the people you're talking to, the magazines you're reading, the music words and lyrics that you have, the people influences in your life, it's like it's doom and gloom. Have you ever stopped to distinguish what influences your own thinking and your own feelings, and then how that ruminates, how that creates a synergy of thought with this infinite power that you've got to think and feel? And so the biology today, coming from the neuroscience world, tells us, my goodness, there are no limits on the amount of human thinking we have. And we get to control the direction of that thinking, and whether or not we want to be negative and the world is doom and gloom and my God, why do I even get up in the morning? Versus there are good things that I can grab onto. There are people that are my friends. There are people that I can go speak with. There are medical people that I can seek out help with. There are new ways of running a car. There's new ways of building houses. My goodness, there are so many new things that we can go out and lean on to get some help, depending upon what position our G is and how that is influencing our overall thinking, which then eventually influences our actions. So what are we doing in our lives every day? What possibilities do we see ourselves? How are we creating new alternatives and new options when we hit problems? And I can say, life has got problems. I do not diminish the fact that there are sometimes garbage that we get into our lives. And it's not fun. We get medical reports. We get people losing jobs. We have people that are becoming unfriendly to us. This is not to say that there are not things in our life that are garbage, and we'd love to clean them out and put them in a dump somewhere. But the reality is your overall thinking, your overall thought process has got to be more towards what are some of the good things that I can be blessed with, that I can be thankful for, that I have gratitude for in my life, that give me a strength and a courage with a tenacity that says I can figure this all out. And who might I need to talk with? Maybe there's a friend, maybe there's a mom, maybe there's a dad, maybe there's a spouse. There's somebody I can sit and talk with. And this is one of the interesting challenges. Okay, when we start to ruminate in a good in, good grows, or a garbage in, garbage grows, having other people give you a thought that you let in, that influences your thinking, may take you to places you never thought were possible. And so in the work that I've done over the last almost 30 years, it's been amazing to me to meet a number of people that had the audacity and the boldness to take the first position G, good in, and raise it to great things into my brain will create great things out of it. And I can do things in my life, I will do things in my life I never dreamt, I never thought possible. So why can't we take the first position G and find the books we read, the great minds that we can study from, successful people that we know that have done things that we would love to learn, and find and put great things into our brain and let greatness grow. And so we have 3 first position G's that influence our thinking and our feelings in our lives. And we as humans have the power to alter any one of those 3 and decide who are we going to believe, what are we going to read, what music might I listen to, what TV programs do I watch, what news do I want to process and have an influence on. And one of the students in the Memory Institute brought that out and said, Tony, what news do you listen to at night? It is so depressing. And I'm like, I've learned one thing about my synergy of thought. Do I need to know what happens in the world day by day by day, or might I just pause on my news and take it in once a week, take 2 or 3 different stations to get a different flavor of local news, world news, global news, country news, and minimize my synergy of, okay, who and what is moving the ball? What are the things changing that I need to be a part of or even know about? And I clearly do not listen to news after 6 o'clock at night because I'd like to get my sleep, because we know sleep is important to clearing out the toxins in our brain, and therefore we want to get a good night's rest so those toxins get cleaned out and we minimize some of our long-term health problems. But that's when I asked the group, most of us think about the problems of the day. So I gave them an assignment. When you go home from the class today, you wrap up the class, I want you to share with your family members or anyone you sit down, your caregivers, anyone that you socialize with at the end of the day. And I want you to share with them what was something that was good. And if you want to go for something that was really great, to put a big smile on your face, that gave you a level of joy during the workshop today, share that with your family and let them know that there are good things that are going on in your life that give you a level of optimism, that give you a level of continuing to move on, that give you the level of, my goodness, you know what, the world can be a better place. We just need to figure out how to make it and live it in a way that works for us. And we're not going to go to bed tonight. We're going to think about, my goodness, all the horrors and the terrible things. Though I will tell you, one of the worst things for me before I go to bed is find out how the Yankees did. And so I've learned to tape the game or wait to hear the scores until the morning. So at least I've had a good night's sleep, and I have a day if they've lost. I've got a day that I can let it pass and go. If I see that they lose, and they lose some silly play or goofy, it's like, why did that happen? And this is only for a sports game. So sports influence my thinking, and how my home teams do has a difference sometimes when I can get to bed or not. So with that, I want you to have a great day, and we'll see you back out here on Friday.